All right, this is the bottom of the stool seat, and we need to do a little round over from here to there. Now, I don't want to go all the way into the joint, so I made some little marks here to kind of govern where I make that round over. And so, two places, here and here. I've already got this side rounded over. All right, that's nice. It left a little bead here, and so I'm going to take a rasp and I'm going to work that bead down, and that'll help us kind of fair this into the bottom. And I think it's going to look real good. All right, now we're just working on getting a nice round over, kind of completing the job right here, but we want it to flow. We don't want the little bead left. So it's a good chance again to use some hand tools to clean everything up and just really improve that round over. What you need to do is just work until you've got a nice round over all the way around this edge, and then we're going to cut in a little bit right here and shape it around the legs a little bit later. Yeah, this is going to look good. We're trying to make this little detail here. It's just a little soft line that comes in all the way down to the junction with the leg. It kind of just lifts it up, makes the stool top look a little thinner, which is a good thing. So right here, I've got a line, and I can work back and forth with the rasp to start getting that to pop out a little bit. This is a half round rasp, so it kind of imparts the shape that we want right there. Yeah, let the shape of the tool do the work for you every time you can. All right, now we'll just continue the rounding over process. Now don't be timid with your hand tools. Go ahead and go at it hard. That's what I find is a big problem with woodworkers and their hand tools. They don't understand that you've really got to go at it. Yeah, I put this line on here so I would have something to visualize as I'm working on this round over and working on this little set of lines right here. Anything that might help. All right, I've got this set to 3/16 right here, and I'm going to make kind of a baseline right here. And that baseline is going to give me something to shoot at. I want to be right in the middle, right here. All right, so that's the point that I'm going to shoot at. And I'm going to use myself as the human compass again. You may have seen me do this before, and I've got to get it set so that I end up in the right place. And I may not. All right, so right there, we're going to kind of crown that surface on the bottom up to this line, and then we're going to dish this out, which will become kind of a thigh relief right here. Let me show you on the finished stool. See how this comes down and comes back up there at the pommel? That's what we're going to do, is we're going to make this nice little round over. And so we've made this line, and now I'm going to sculpt that line, starting out with a grinder. All right, I've drawn this little circle here, and it's kind of a football shape, as you see. And I'm going to make a flat right along there, and then kind of roll it over to complete the round over. Then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Then I'll take the grinder and I'll show you how. Next thing is to carve this little nose right here. It's kind of cute, and what I'm going to do is take the grinder and work right up under this area, kind of blunt that off at 45 degrees and actually kind of undercut it a little bit. I'll show you how. Kind of plunged in to make this sweeping undercut right here. And I cut some of this out. This is kind of rounded out there to lift the nose up under that pommel a bit. And then made the same kind of cut in over here. So yeah, this is going to shape out just real nice. Now I need to take some hand tools and kind of detail it out. Just watch me a bit and you'll see how I do it, and you'll get the hang of it, I hope. When you're working with hardwoods, and walnut definitely is a hardwood, you have the beauty of being able to use a scraper. Now, all those little marks from that 24 grit paper on the grinder and all the rasp marks, look how they just kind of melt away with a scraper. Tell you what, the scraper is just the Cadillac of hand tools for the money. They don't cost much, but they do a great job for you. All right, let me show you what we've got now. With a lot of work, we've got the thigh reliefs rounded over here, and we're crowned up from the bottom to a nice line right there. We've got these little flats here on the side, which are interesting. And so I'm ready to sand this. And when I finish sanding it, everything else is ready to assemble it. And we'll go from there. The main thing is to get to all those places that you won't be able to get to later when it's all assembled and glued up with 100 grit, at least through 100 grit. After that, you're through with all your shaping, and it's just a matter of working up through the grits and coming up with a great surface. But that's the idea right now, is just trying to get everything to kind of 100 grit here. We're almost there. I have sanded everything underneath to 100 grit, and now I'm ready to go assemble the project, and it's going to be a dry assembly, no glue yet, to make sure everything comes together.